Good morning. Spring is definitely in the air. All of the ducks and geese are all trying to sit on eggs. Everybody's chasing everybody, trying to breed, and oh, what a nightmare. These little ducks. Anyway, I'm out here at the raised beds. I've really got to get these things cleaned up. I should have probably cleaned all these things up last year, fall, whatever, but that's the way things go. You know, you're chasing your tail all the time, trying to beat the weather. So anyway, I've got strawberries that are already starting to green up. I've got some green onions that I didn't actually expect to green up, but they're greening up. Asparagus should be coming up at any point. So I've really got to get in here, get these raised beds cleaned up and prepped, get some compost on everything, and get ready for planting. May 15th is our last frost day, I guess. So I've got to get some other raised beds put together and prepared, but I've got a little time on that. So my big thing right now is getting compost and fertilizer on the things that need it, which are already greening up, like I said, the strawberries and some onions. And I've got to get the rest of these cleaned up and some compost put on them. So let's get to work. As I said, you can see that some of the strawberries are starting to come back already. This is all going to actually be really nice. They should give us a really nice strawberry patch this year. I've got a cover that I've got to put over it as soon as I get everything going again, so we can make sure that the robins don't get in here. Boy, they see a red strawberry, they'll be in here stealing strawberries right away. I've got green onions coming back up, which I actually, like I said, I did not expect. Looks like they're going to go to seed pretty quick. So I think what I'm going to try to do is actually let those go to seed if I can, and try to capture some of those. And I'll pull what I can salvage otherwise. The rest of this bed is actually going to be same as these, which are just about to start opening up. And these are let's see what the thing is. They're just a Cantana black currant. I love black currant jam. It's exceptional. It truly is. They're really tart, but they've got a lot of antioxidants and a bunch of different things that are really good, and I really like black currant jam. So anyhow, everything else is a mess. You can see the rest of the tomatoes, green beans, some onions here. We've got grass in these things. This was the carrots, and I'm going to expand this into more asparagus, but I got to get all the asparagus cut back, as you can see. And there's also some weeds in there. Oh geez. Yep, here we go. This is why I was out here. You can see I've got a bunch of green asparagus starting to come up right now. So this is why I'm out here, is I'm a little bit behind. Yep, sure enough, right here. There's some asparagus coming up right there. So I definitely got to get going here on this and get some of this stuff cut back. And we'll have fresh asparagus here in another day. So I got to get busy. All right. So as you can see, we've got a bunch of asparagus coming up here, there, all the way through. They're all coming up. I'm really glad I'm out here today. You can see here, good shoots. Similarly here. Some of them are a little small, which is fine. I'll leave a couple of them, let everything kind of come up. Some of them are really nice. This one here is a really nice one. Those are all really nice. That's going to be really nice. And these will continue to come up all spring here. So I'm glad I came out to clean up this section here. So in the other half, as I'd said, over here, this had all been carrots last year, and I'm going to swap that, and that's going to be asparagus as well. So this entire bed will be asparagus. The first year we can't really do anything with them. We can't harvest anything from them. But the second year, like this year, this is when we start getting the bigger shoots, like that guy over there, and that kind of thing. So let me get the rest of these beds cleaned out. I got to kind of clean out the strawberries there, and I got to clean out tomatoes and etc. But wanted to kind of show you what we had for the asparagus coming up. So here's something to keep in mind as you grow strawberries. Strawberries send out runners, especially the first couple years. Let's see, you'll see like this. It's a great big long stringy bugger, and what that does is everywhere along here you'll see this little deal here, it'll root. So you'll see them hanging off like this right here. All of these right here are runners. What they do is they spread. Now you'll see outside of my container, you can see I've got a bunch of strawberries coming up on the outside of my my raised bed here. You can see them there. You can see them here on the corner. You can see them on this corner. You can see them on this corner here. You can see them there. Let's see if there's any on this side. Yeah, all along. You can see these are all runners. This is what I'm talking about. So this is all runners. And so they send all these runners out and they take root. And see what we got here underneath? Got a bunch of strawberries coming up on the outside of the raised bed. You can see them here. You can see strawberries here. Here's more runners all along the outside, and now you can see there's strawberries coming up on the outside, which for me is not a big deal. This is an area that it won't bother me at all to have the extra strawberries. It's just something that you need to know, that if you try to keep them contained in a really small area, say for example you put them in a pot in your front yard, keep a close eye on them, because if you don't want strawberries in your front yard, they'll send those runners out. They'll hit the ground, they'll root, and they will take off, and they're hard to kill once you get them going. So just be careful where you plant them if you don't want them in your front yard. It's pretty amazing, those asparagus. I'm looking at the temps of these beds. Not sure if you can see that, but the temp is only about 40 degrees on these beds. And that asparagus is already coming up. That's I know I've mentioned it before, but that's one of the reasons I planted it, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to expand it, is that you get fresh vegetables first part of spring. As soon as you start warming up, boy, here they come, which is really, really nice. You know, you get all the vegetables from last year, and you eat a bunch of carrots and green beans and that kind of thing, which are all great. Don't get me wrong, but it's really nice to have those fresh vegetables and a little bit of change, and it's just really nice. And additionally, it's very rewarding to have them this time of year. Like say, just a nice fresh vegetable, and so it's just really, really nice to have. So that's one of the reasons I planted them, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to be expanding them. Some of these, I've got some weeds in here that I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I've really got to get rid of them here. So that one, it's a noxious weed. It's not good for animals, and it spreads like crazy. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get rid of it. There are things for it, but the problem is in killing it, you kind of kill everything else. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I may have to next year put like on these beds like this here. This is onion, so I don't really have to worry about it. So I could put it on here in the winter after I've kind of pulled everything. But like the one with the asparagus, I can't really do that because those are an annual that I want to come back up every year. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there for those. Nonetheless, we'll get these things here cleaned up. I do need to come out here with a sprayer and spray everything, spray the weeds, spray the grass and everything that's around the edges of these beds. I try to keep the whole walkway and the whole area out here cleaned up, no grass and that kind of thing. Have it nice, have it cleaned up. So, all right, let's get over here and get these tomatoes. So these tomatoes are kind of a bugger because they grew so fast. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but we got a couple of cranes above us that are making a bunch of noise. It's, like I say, it's that time of year, everybody's coming back. So these tomatoes grew so quickly and they became so dense that I was trying to keep up, and I literally just couldn't keep up with the supports. So I used these bamboo pieces as supports for them, but man, I just couldn't keep up. The tomatoes grew so tall and so full so quickly that I couldn't keep up with them. You can see, and I think you saw last year, they all were hanging out and hanging down. I ended up with probably, I think, 40-50 pounds of tomatoes last year that I had to boil down, which took forever to make sauce. Made a really nice sauce though. The wife really loved it. I think we actually have gone through all of it because she loved it so much. She made spaghetti pretty regularly with it. But now I've got to clean all this up, and it's just kind of a pain. I'm just going to cut these. These bamboo ones were really helpful because they were taller than anything else that I could find. Okay, so we got the beds pretty well cleaned out. You can see I've got all the drip lines pulled off to the side right there. I'm going to throw some compost on these. Really happy with how the soil itself looks. It's really nice, looks healthy. Really still looks really nice. So the soil is in good shape. Nonetheless, I'm going to put on some compost. You can see here, this is the green beans. In this bed, I'm growing the same green beans. So it's not a big deal if there are a few pods here and there. Those really won't matter. It's going to be the same green beans, so it won't matter. I'll leave all the leaves in here because I'm going to put compost, just put a really good layer of compost over the top of everything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, probably 2 weeks from now, what I'll do is I'll turn everything into the soil. I'll turn it all, and all those leaves and that kind of thing will just be added nutrition. They'll break down and just kind of be added nutrition. This bed is going to be a different green bean than it was last year. It's going to be the same as the bed I just showed you. So I'm going to have two beds that are the same type of green bean. So I made sure that I got through and I've got all the pods up that I could see. I'm going to put compost on these as well. And I'm trying not to have any kind of crossover, but you know, honestly, if I get a few plants of the green bean from last year, it's not going to hurt me at all. It's not that big a deal. So you know, I did what I could, and I'm not going to just spend 2 hours just going in and picking each one. This is also going to be a different green bean than it was last year, but it's going to be different than the other two. This is going to be something that is, I think we'll probably go with like the rattlesnake or something along those lines, something that'll get a little more color, different, a little variant. Which the flavor is going to be quite a bit different, and they're really nice on like salads or different things like that. You go to a dinner with somebody and you have something that's green beans that are kind of a different color or different something. It's unique, and so it's nice. So these will probably be one of the rattlesnakes or whatever. This is going to be the onions again. That's the same as it was last year. I got to pull all these lines out. What I'm going to do is I keep talking about kind of showing my drip line system, and I keep kind of missing out on it, to be honest. And so what I'll do is I'm going to put compost on here. I'll leave the compost on a couple of weeks. Hopefully we'll get some moisture. And then what I'll do is I'll turn it all in. And when I do, I'll put these drip lines back on. And while I'm putting them back on, what I'll do is I'll just kind of talk about the system that I've got, the reason I've got it the way I do, and that kind of thing. So I will kind of have a discussion, or just kind of talk about what I have for drip lines. But we'll do that in a couple of weeks, and we get going. I'm going to have to get some compost on all these raised beds. All right, we got compost on all these beds. Everything looks good. Compost looks nice. Put some compost around these currants. Compost on the rest of the beds here. So now what I'll do is I'll wait about 2 weeks, and then get everything turned in. I'll probably turn it in. I guess it'll probably be a little more than 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Nonetheless, I'll get it all turned in just before I go to plant. I'll get all that turned in, and we'll be in good shape. And some of these asparagus are liking that sun. It doesn't take them long to take off once they get up, get that sun. Some of those will be ready to cut tomorrow for sure. Fresh asparagus, outstanding. I better get some steaks out and get them thawed. All right, thank you for watching. If you got anything out of this video, if you enjoyed the content, please do me a favor and like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. I sure do appreciate it. Thank you.